early on, I would say try to do everything you can with spending almost no money at all. So, try to be as creative at coming up with ways to get feedback, to test your product. I mean, you're not going to steal carrots from Migros, obviously, I got that. But, like try to do the things that are possible without spending money before you know what it is that you're looking into, right? Information is free in a lot of areas at the end of the day, and conversations are usually free. So it's more about putting in the work. So yeah, try to spend as little money as you can until you get to a point where you really feel, okay, people are willing to pay for this, or I'm onto something that has value. And then maybe you can start adding a bit of resources and a bit of budget to it over time. But yeah, I just think cash in the beginning is always a problem when I talk to very early stage founders. And unless you are blessed to have big cash pile behind you, usually that's one of the main problems that you face. And try to use as many, how can I say that, standardized tools as possible. You don't have to come up with a lot of new things. There's solutions for almost anything, for surveys, for building a quick website, for like Bubble or Webflow, for building a small application, these sort of things. There's a standard version that has pre-templated stuff almost everywhere, and it costs you maybe $20-30. So, that should be possible. Just drink a beer or two less next weekend, and you can afford it. So yeah, I think those are really easy ways. So try to spend as little cash as possible and try to use the standardized tools out there for the beginning, and rely on free knowledge in the market.
And I would even double that, and I would say there's a lot of things that normally cost that you can get for free with a good story. So like if you are very charming, people will send you prototype stuff for free, even though normally you have to pay for it. So this goes even further than just thinking how, or trying not to spend money, but actually trying to get stuff for free that normally would cost. Katarina, you can go.
Yeah, I would say for us, we would not have been able to actually found Daxmayan the way we did without the InnoSwiss support, because these research projects, can you imagine, the amount of money to have academics from 2 institutions in Switzerland and pay them for a 1.5, 2-year-long project? It would cost enormous amount of money that we would need to raise before at the point that we were actually at ideation. But here in Switzerland, there is a startup network that with the incubators but also with federal support, particularly on innovation projects. And I would really encourage to reach out to those institutions, organizations, and see the support you can get there. For us as well, through our startup incubator, Startfeld, we got a mentor who happens to come from an old textile family in Switzerland, which got us into our first production partner, because even to start working with a production partner as an unknown brand is difficult. So there is opportunities to tap into networks and to get a support that would help you along your way without having to spend any money or having to raise money at the stage where it is difficult, to get funding, but if you get it, you have to give away a huge share of your company.
Yeah, I would want to add one thought, which is a little bit a caveat to what was said before. I fully agree to being resourceful in the ideation process. One thing that I'm always very careful and direct to people who want to start their own companies: be mindful of your money, but invest all of your time. But you won't be able to create a great product on the side with 10% of your brain capacity when you have a full-time job, and you won't solve complex issues aside of running 8 to 10 hours a day on something else. So if you really want to find this niche or this product and build it out, be mindful of money, but lean in as an individual, because that's the only way how you can crack and craft great products.
And I think that's actually, I totally agree with that. It was one of the points about thinking about mistakes made or learnings, was that in the beginning, I was working full-time with Daxmayan, but my partner, well, he was still in his corporate job. At some point, you need to either go for it or just walk away, because it is not possible to do something else on the side and still think that you're going to launch a successful business. I think that's not possible.